Welcome back to another live stream. Back to another live stream. Back
100 times?
to another live stream.
200 times?
Back.
500 times?
Probably.
Who is Jose Arteaga?
Jose Arteaga is a YouTube content creator with several channels focusing on different themes.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Thing sucks.
His main channels include travel vlogs and lifestyle content. On his travel channel, Jose Arteaga Travels.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Additionally, he runs a cooking channel and engages in other personal projects that highlight his diverse interests and expertise. Projects and expertise.
If we can figure out how to establish a high bandwidth neural interface, then you're no longer a house cat.
Robots will be able to do everything better than us. Robots going down the street, killing people, are definitely under stress. AI is a fundamental risk to the existence of human civilization. I think we should be really concerned about AI. I'm definitely under stress. We're already a cyborg. Buy a ticket and move to Mars. We are summoning a demon. Stab the bloody thing through the heart. We're already a cyborg. Save up enough money to move to Mars. We are summoning a demon. We're done with everything we are. Where are the aliens? Maybe they are among us, I don't know. Some people think I'm an alien.
Hey. How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another live stream. Hope you guys are ready to have some fun today. Hope you guys are ready to eat some shit, as we usually do here on this channel, on this live stream here. We went pretty hard today on the other channel. We went off, so off tangent, so off topic. We literally fell off a cliff. But hey, it's fine. It's all right. It is what it is. We had a lot of fun. We're always having a lot of fun. And it's time to enjoy the show. Oh, man, I literally forgot to turn off the fan. Hold on one segundo. Here, I'll leave you guys with Alex Jones for a second while I turn off the fan. 2 seconds, like, literally.
Paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're with giant death factories, keeping babies alive, selling their body.
Oh my.
What more do you need to know about these people?
Oh my goodness. All right, Alex. All right, we'll put you on pause for a second. We'll get back right to you in a second there. But anyway, shout out to everyone out there in the audience. Shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to Hidden Knowledge. Hope you get to a speedy recovery with your hip replacement, hip situation. I know, I can only imagine how much that hurts, how much that sucks. I myself, 2 weeks ago, injured my foot, turf toe. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. But yeah, anyways, long story short, I was out of commission. I could not do anything for a week, basically 10 days. I was out of commission. I couldn't really walk much, do much. And it hasn't been until really this week where I was able to finally start, getting out there, moving again. So yeah, you know what I mean? Health is wealth. For those of you guys out there that have, had some sort of situation, whatever situation at whatever age, that's when you realize how important your health is. In fact, most people have no idea, no clue. You just kind of like brush it off, whatever, until it's too late. And so your health, you got to take care of your health. Your health is number one and all that. And the reason I'm even, harping on that a bit is because, well, that's part of the topic of what we're talking about today, which is television. Television, aka, programming, aka propaganda, aka the boob tube, aka whatever you want to call it. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health. It's not good for you. It's no bueno. It's just bad. It's just terrible. All right. And so, the best thing to do, whatever it is, my situation with my feet, someone in the audience's situation with their weight, my situation with my weight, you might be addicted to something. You might have, some sort of surgery you're recovering from, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, the whole idea is that, you need to take care of yourself and do the proper maintenance to make sure, that you're not thinking about your health at the worst possible time. Again, I never think about my feet until I have an issue with my feet, in which it reminds me very quickly, the reason that you're in pain right now is because you did not do the preventative maintenance on your feet in order to, make sure that you're not in pain right now. And the same thing goes with everything else. I'm a little overweight right now. I'm eating one too many Twinkies, I'm not blaming the Twinkies. I'm blaming me, for, giving in to the temptation of the Twinkie. And so television is a Twinkie. That's all it is. Okay. And so for a lot of people, that Twinkie, aka that television, is something they cannot live without. And I get it. I used to be one of those people. In fact, I think most of us have at one point not only owned a television, but know, what it is to have a television in the home. It's not just having a television in the home. It comes with many things, mostly negative. And so for some of you guys, still deal with that and still have that in your home. And some of you guys have moved away from having or owning a television, period, end of story, in your homes. Because, I don't know about you guys, how it was in your households, but when I used to have TVs, or my family had TVs, or whatever, the whole, TV was around, it was never turned off, ever. It was always on something. Whatever. Okay. In my household, when I was growing up, it was either my dad watching the news or my mom watching the soap operas, the TV novelas, or a mixture of other bull crap programming. All right. And it was just always on. And so, of course, you grow up with that. You always have it on. Sometimes it's almost like white noise. For a lot of people, you'll have that television on because you need that white noise. It's almost as if you have the television turned off and you have everything else turned off, and now it's just you and your thoughts, you and your own mind. Now, all of a sudden, that's too much for too many people to handle. It's funny because I talk a lot. I love noise. I come from a noisy culture, AKA I'm Cuban. I come from Miami, yada, yada, yada. So noise is a part of my life. And for the longest time, I always had to have some sort of noise around, not just the television, music, anything, just noise. And I didn't realize until later on that the reason that I had to have so much noise is because, you don't want to hear the thoughts in your own head. Everybody has thoughts in your own head, okay? You know what I mean. Okay, I'm not talking about like multiple voices or multiple people having conversations in there. You got a whole, whole Friends episode in your head. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, your own thoughts and you and yourself and, what everybody goes through. And so a lot of people, they just don't want to confront themselves. And so that's why they drown themselves in noise all the time. Okay. And, but one thing that I quickly realized, since I gave up a TV, since I gave up having noise on all the time, is that when you don't have any noise, when it's just quiet, that means it's just you and yourself. So again, just think about it for a second. Let's do a quick exercise. It's all quiet. You don't hear anything. And the longer you keep it quiet, the more, likely, the more, and you can already feel it, the more likely you're going to start talking to yourself. Right now, quiet. You're probably thinking to yourself, why is this guy quiet? Why is he not saying anything? Am I supposed to stay quiet? Are these the thoughts that are supposed to be in my head? Am I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. You could be having a conversation with yourself, or, I'm quiet, and you're probably just thinking, okay, fuck, when I'm done here, I got to go to the grocery store, and I got to buy 3 pounds of ground beef, and I got to buy cheese, and I got to buy, okay, Jose's talking again. All right, hold on, I'm going to put that on hold. It doesn't matter. There's many thoughts that go through our mind all the time, And, it could be simply saying, oh my God, I can't believe I'm wasting my time listening to this guy with a fake horse. Whatever it is. And so, in today's society, in today's world, we are taught that that's bad. That you having thoughts in your mind is bad. That you thinking is bad. That you talking to yourself is bad. That you need to be listening to something all the time so that way you're not listening to yourself. That's kind of weird and messed up and kind of crazy, don't you think? So that's what you see everywhere. Most people, most places, they got TVs on, whether it's sports, whether it's the mainstream media, it doesn't matter, music, whatever it is, there's always noise, there's always something on. And it's hard, it's very difficult for you to go find a spot to just sit there and quiet and just sit there with your thoughts and to think about things. Now, why is it that they surround you, or they always want you to be, with all this noise and distraction around you? So that way you're not thinking. That way you're not processing things. That way you're not, asking questions, or wondering. That's dangerous. Thinking is dangerous. We don't want you to be thinking on your own now. We're going to make sure to give you the thoughts that you should be thinking. These are the ideas that should be in your brain. If you got something else that's popping in your brain, it's not good unless it's these talking points brought to you by Pfizer, brought to you by Coca-Cola, brought to you by the NFL and its sponsors. Whatever it is, so that's part of all that. All right, let me read some comments real quick. I see some comments are coming in today, and we'll get back to that in a second, to the brainwashing, right? Viviendo en Mexico, is that Viviendo Tu Mejor Vida, says, first time watching Jose Unleashed. Have been watching Jose travel for a long time. Oh, awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to everyone out there, whether this is your first time or your 32nd time. This is my 32nd live show. Anyways, Hidden Knowledge says, the frequency of a TV set is made to interrupt the brain patterns to think. Well, that makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Chef Boy says, we blew up our TV, threw away our paper, went to the country, built a home, had a lot of children, fed them peaches. They all found Jesus on their own song, Spanish Pipe Dream. See, as soon as look how the brain works, right? When I was reading your thing, when I was reading your comment, Chef Boy, and you were saying peaches, immediately the first thing that popped in my mind, millions of peaches, peaches for me, millions of peaches, peaches for free. Remember? It's like peaches come from a can, they were put there by a man. I cannot sing. Anyways, I forgot. All right. No more peaches. All right. Viviendo Tu Mejor Vida en Mexico. I'm just gonna say Viviendo. All right, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's too long. All right. I'm sorry. My bad, man. Anyways, or maybe you have like an acronym. But anyways, Viviendo says, does YouTube on the TV count? I mean, I don't know. Okay. FYI. Here, let me show you real quick, okay? Give you... Oh, no, I can't. Damn it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Maybe I can show you, maybe not. Oh, yeah, hold on. All right, so you guys can see my setup real quick. Okay, so I got 2 monitors, okay? I know, right? How crazy is that? Look, that's you guys right there talking. All right? But anyway, so I got monitor 1, monitor 2. Okay, so I got 2 monitors, all right? That's what we got. Okay, now, so by the way, I bought these monitors and I bought my computer setup a few years ago, many years ago during COVID, because I had, a few bucks that I made, due to some investments that I made that paid off, because, hey, I was one of those crazy guys that used to listen to, guys like that guy. And, I placed some bets and then COVID happened and I guess things happened and it is what it is. Anyways, I made just a few bucks, enough for me to get me a computer, okay? And the setup that I have, because up until then, I was doing everything off a laptop. All my videos, all my content, all my live streams, everything off a crappy laptop. By the way, not so crappy because it's still, over there kicking and I still use it for certain things. But anyways, on my laptop. And then when I was able to, when I, again, my investments paid off, well, instead of just spending that money on crap, I reinvested it in what I do for a living. So part of what I did for a living was I bought myself 2 monitors so that way I can edit and work, and it's all for work. Long story short, that's the only screens I have in the house is these 2 monitors that I use for work. And I use them, to edit, so I can see the colors. I made sure to get 2 different screens. Again, it's all work, okay? So that way I can see what the videos look like and certain things look like with different color schemes and all this other shit, okay? But long story short, all the content that I watch is either on here. So for example, let's say I'm working on something, I might be editing something, I might be typing something, whatever, and then on my other screen I'll have a video I'm watching or I'm listening to, or a podcast or music or whatever it is, or I can move things from one screen to the other. But I use it for work. I only use it for work. Now, I do watch content from time to time. So for example, let's say that, everything I consume these days, video wise for the most part is YouTube. I'm a big fan of YouTube. I love YouTube because, well, it's content that's not created by Hollywood or by, some production team out there for the most part. It's created by you, by us, by people, and so that's why I enjoy that. I enjoy watching that kind of content that comes from I don't want to say non-biased, but that comes from non-paid actors out there. So for example, if I'm going to watch something, for example, here, I'll give you an example, or like right in front of your face example. Okay, so for example,
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
okay, so you know about that story, okay? I don't gotta, go too deep into it. So obviously, depending on the news outlet, right, that you were watching on your TV, some were saying that they are eating the cats. Some were saying they weren't eating the cats. And who do I believe? Nobody. Who do a lot of people believe? Like you guys in the audience, you guys don't believe either. But at the same time, you're thinking, well, what's really going on? Because Fox News is saying they are eating the cats. CNN is saying they're not eating the cats. So what's going on? Who's eating the cats or who's not eating the cats? But then all of a sudden on YouTube, okay, you see people like me, literally like me, like my channel, okay? And they went out to Springfield, literally with Homer Simpson out there. They went out to Springfield and they just did journalism. And they started asking around multiple channels, okay? And the multiple channels with multiple political leanings, left, right, up, down, whatever. They all went out there and they were all interviewing the people. They were all filming everything like I do on my other channel, basically showing you exactly what the fuck was going on. And yeah, well, long story short, they're not eating the fucking cats, you know what I mean? Now, again, I'm not saying that there aren't people that eat cats and that, that's not a thing, but there was no proof. And there were channels that were going and doing everything humanly possible to get proof, and they couldn't find proof. And then others that were trying to disprove it. And well, obviously it was really easy to disprove because there was no proof. I mean, that's just one of the things. So now these days, whenever I'm consuming anything, I tend to I always 99% of the time consume it on YouTube. Why? Because I'll see a story, that might be on the news, might not be on the news. And I do know for a fact that there's YouTubers out there that are going to go cover that story. So the other day, okay, remember, I live in Mexico these days, okay? A lot of you guys are in the USA. There's a hurricane that just destroyed half of the USA at the moment. I haven't really heard anything about it because it's not in my YouTube feed. It's not in my thing. I'm in Mexico. I get different recommendations being in Mexico because that's what I want. I want to hear about what's going on in Mexico. I don't care that much about the USA, especially these days with the political stuff. But I was curious about the hurricane, and I couldn't find anything about the hurricane. I was talking to a friend of mine, another American expat. That person, they watch television. Okay, or not with television, but they watch, something close to, whatever. And I was asking him, hey, he says, I know you're watching the television. How come I haven't seen anything on the internet about the hurricanes? Is it on the TV? Is it on mainstream news? And the person was like, no, nothing's on the news. On any of the news, it's not really being covered the way you would think it would be covered on the news. So even something like that you would think would be covered, okay, nonstop by the media, the regular mainstream media, that's all they would be covering because it's such a horrible thing. They're not covering it. But guess who is covering the hurricane? The people on YouTube. And for example, when I need to see the weather report, there's a guy on YouTube that does the weather for my region. So I watch the weather report. This is a YouTube guy, Mr. Weatherman. I check him out. You know what I mean? And he was telling me all about the hurricane, and he told me about whatever. But once the hurricane does the damage, well, he's a weather guy. He's not covering that. So, well, there's other YouTubers. There's YouTubers that live in the area. There's YouTubers that do journalism, and they travel all across the country or the world to cover these things. And so, well, that's where I watch and see what's going on with whatever it is. And it doesn't matter. So these days, even if I wanted to watch television or wanted to look at mainstream media, whatever, it's basically trash and non-existent. And it's not really giving you the information that you're looking for. And, back in the day when we didn't have YouTube and the internet, you were just force fed what they gave you on the television. And you couldn't pick and choose what you wanted. It's just basically what they gave you. And back then, they tried a little harder with the propaganda and shit like that. When it comes to trying to present something, to make it look more real. But these days, they don't even waste their time anymore because they know that they got to compete with the YouTubes of the world and the internets of the world. And the truth is out there, one shape, form, or another. And they can't, censor everybody. They can't turn off the whole internet. Because they can't even get their message across anymore. So that's the thing. And so even these days, it's even if you're looking for information by the way, so back in the day, you did not have to go looking for this stuff. They just gave it to you, and there was no way for you to go look for it. There was no avenues. So, but these days it's very different. These days, even they have gotten so lazy where they are not even feeding you a bunch of different things so to keep you interested. They just feed you one, bullshit narrative about one bullshit whatever. And obviously people, and especially in these days where, people's attention span is like a goldfish. You're always on TikTok, you're always on Instagram, you're always on Facebook, you're always on something on the phone. Okay, and that's keeping you entertained. So every time you go to the news and all you hear is Orange Man bad or Orange Man the best, it doesn't, and that's all they're talking about, and they're not talking about anything else, or they're talking about all this other bullshit that you don't give a crap about instead of the things that you care about. And yet you go on the social media, and on the social media you find everything you're looking for. And if you don't find what you're looking for, you can just type it, search it, look for it, find it, and you'll have 1,000 different versions of it. And you can find, so now today's world, they have forced us to go out there and seek what we want to watch instead of just, watching what they give us. So even when it comes to like a Netflix, again, back in the day, we used to have like HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, whatever, and it was just whatever they put on. And that's what we're going to watch. Or they're going to put on, The Godfather. Oh, okay, it's coming out at 8 o'clock. Okay, so we got to make sure to be on HBO to watch it, Okay. But nowadays, it's not like that at all. It's like, I want to watch The Godfather. I can just go to Netflix or go to some website, some website. All right. Hold on. Let me put this guy dancing in the back. Anyway, some website, something out there, and you can watch it for free. Okay, or you can pay a service and watch it on Netflix. You can pick what you want. Same thing with sports. You can pick and choose, what games you want to watch, or you want to watch a package, you want to buy the whole thing, or you can watch it all for free, or whatever it is, movies, TV shows, you name it, documentaries, you name it. So now people are, obviously their attention span is less. Okay, less in the sense of like their attention span is like if what they're watching is not good, they're not going to watch it. Okay, so that's what you got to keep them, you got to keep their attention. So it's not to say that, people don't watch, movies anymore or 1 hour documentaries anymore or listen to podcasts or anything like that. No, they do. They love people. You're proof out there in the audience right now. You guys like to listen to or watch long form content. Okay. And so therefore you seek it. But if it's not good, you're not going to watch it. And so that's the thing. And so now television and that programming and that whole Hollywood and that's disappearing because they cannot keep up with what we're doing over here. What we're producing, what we're creating. They're not keeping up with what people want and what people, what their expectations for entertainment are these days and how quickly they can get it or access it. Okay? And all the other types of different entertainment that there are. There's all kinds of things. So again, on your phone, you can watch a movie, you can play a video game, you can watch a TV show, you can watch a YouTube video, you can listen to a podcast, you can watch a podcast, you can listen to music, you can do so many things on this stupid little phone. What the hell do you even need a television for? And many times, people are watching it on their phone and now they have the option so you can project it on the TV. Okay. In fact, one of the things that we have, I do have that I bought a long time ago for some other thing, but we now use it for this. I bought a projector, and I bought a projector because I did not want to buy a TV, but from time to time, me and Christian want to watch a movie, and it's a little uncomfortable to watch it in my office because it's my office. We're gonna watch it on one of my screens, where my work. You saw my setup here. I mean, we could watch it here, but it's not the same. Now, all of a sudden, if I were to, get my laptop, hook it up, just with a wire, to the projector, or my phone to the projector, and now I can watch anything. For example, during the Olympics, Christian was watching the Olympics on the projector. When there's a football game and I got friends over, we'll put it on the projector. If me and Christian are gonna watch a movie, we're gonna watch it on the projector. Now we got like a whole wall, and I got like a 100 by 100 inch TV. Okay, and it's what was it, like $200 or whatever it is I paid for it when I bought that thing. And then on top of that, the best part of all this is that it's not on all the time. It's not constantly on, and we just turn it on. We just turn on the thing we just turn on the thing when we're going to watch the movie, when we're going to watch the sporting event, when we're going to watch XYZ or show XYZ, or that's it. And so, I think that's another thing as well, that a lot of people are leaving those televisions away, or leaving TVs on the side, or not really using TVs like we used to use TVs back in the day. You guys remember what we were talking about earlier. The TV was always on. You woke up in the morning, and one of the first things you did was turn on the TV. You're listening to the news, watching the news, watching Good Morning America, Good Morning whatever, whatever, Morning Joe, whatever the hell it is you were watching while you were doing your thing, okay? Made your coffee, made your breakfast, did whatever, your routine. You leave, you get in your car to go to work, you turn on the radio, you're listening to more propaganda, and it's just like, that's always noise, And now these days, you got more choice. Now these days, like for example, when I'm doing my morning routine, I put on a podcast, or I listen to a YouTube video that, I just need to listen to. I'm not going to watch, some guy talking about XYZ. And so, I'll be able to just put, depending on the mood I'm in the morning. So if I'm in a happy mood and I got a lot of energy, I might put on some music. I might put on some comedy, some stand-up. I want to laugh. I want to have a good time. If I'm in more serious mood, or I'm in a mood to digest information, all right, maybe I'll put on a documentary, or not a documentary, but like a informative podcast. I might put on Huberman, or I might put on maybe Joe Rogan has a really good guest, talking about technology or whatever it is, and I'll listen to that. But if I want to keep it lighthearted, maybe I'll listen to Theo Vaughn, or I'll listen to Tim Dillon, or I'll listen to comedy. You know what I mean? I'll listen to a guest on Joe Rogan that's funny. Whatever. I'm just giving you examples. And so people have more choice. Same thing as when you're in your car. It's funny. I saw a meme the other day where somebody, it was like he got in the car and his phone was dead. And so he couldn't listen to music. So he had to turn on the radio for the first time in 15 years. And so he turned on the radio in the car and listening to what's coming out of the radio. It's like, bro, this is beyond trash. I'd rather just be in silence, because we're already used to something else. We're used to listening to music, for an hour without a commercial. Where if you put the radio on, you already know the radio is on for a full hour, and you might listen to 6 songs on repeat, and it's mostly commercials. So it's like a song or two, commercials forever, another couple songs, commercials forever, another couple songs, commercials forever. And before you know it, that's already like 20, 30 minutes. And you only listen to like maybe 2 or 3 songs, and the rest is just a bunch of commercials and a bunch of crap. And same as television. You go to television, and so right now you're used to like listening to a podcast, and you're used to listening to 2 to 3 hours of deep conversation, 2 hours of introspective thoughts, 2 hours of some dumbass named Jose with a fake horse, talking about why you shouldn't have a television, whatever it is. Okay, you're used to just listening to that nonstop. Or, just in ingesting information, knowledge. Like I said, you might be listening to 2 scientists talk about science, whatever. But it's not interrupted. There's no commercial breaks every 5 minutes. There's no sound bites every 3 minutes. they can just have a conversation about whatever and go on for as long as they want, as opposed to, watching what you're going to be watching on TV, which is, what is it? What are you watching on TV? Again, you might have a bunch of scientists talking on TV, but you already know, they got segments. They got to do things in sound bites. They got to, as soon as the camera goes to XYZ scientist, they got like 3 seconds to respond with a sound bite. They can't go deep into anything. So it's like most people are, again, there's all kinds of people. There's tons of people that still ingest propaganda, television, news, all that stuff, but less and less people every day. Why? Because more people have access to all these other things that have, much more deeper connection, much more deeper, just, making your brain work, And so people are now, that's what they want. They want that. They want more substance. They want, more meat on their pizza or whatever. And so I think it's a lot of that. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, most people these days, the reason that the television is dead, or most people don't have a television these days, or even use a television, like we used to, is simply because, well, now we have everything. We can access everything through so many other ways. And so most of the time these days, a television is used like I use my projector, to like maybe watch a movie. Maybe watch some Netflix and chill. Maybe play a video game. In fact, video games are the main thing. And so that's why even myself, I can have this set up, instead of having 2 monitors, I can have 2 televisions, kind of do the same thing and in a sense do more. But I purposely chose 2 monitors because these aren't televisions. I don't want to even have the option or pretend like I can use it like a television. It's a freaking monitor for work. Okay, that's it. Okay, and that's the way I keep it. So it's it's sometimes it's difficult because I get it. There's an innate kind of thing that most of us have where we're flipping through the channels, we want to see TV, whatever. But I think more and more of us these days, even if we have that inkling, like for example, me and Christian, we go to Mexico City, all right, and we're staying in a hotel. Or we were just in Guadalajara. We stayed in an Airbnb. They got a television and they got cable, and you're not out and about in the city all day. You're gonna be home. You're gonna be in the hotel for a little bit. Where you're showering, getting dressed before you go to bed in the morning, whatever, right? So you'll have the TV on, right? You'll definitely be curious. It's funny because Christian does not care. She would never turn that thing on if she had a choice. But me, out of curiosity, I'll turn on the TV. I'll flip through the channels. I'll see what TV looks like these days, even though I'm in Mexico and whatever. It's very similar. And very quickly I realized, it's all the same old bullshit, same old trash. But I find myself doing also the same things that I used to do, which is like I'll just flip through the channels, really can't find anything. I guess I found the news or I found something that can, in a way, be kept on a loop. I'll leave that on and I'll go do something else. Kind of crazy, right? So there's something about the TV. There's something about it. I don't know what's in there or what it is. I think, Hidden Knowledge was saying, something about the waves. What is it? What did you say? Let me see. Oh, yeah. The frequency of a TV is set to made to interrupt the brain patterns to think. So I think that maybe there is something to that because, again, I don't feel that or see that or with monitors, just plain monitors, which can only work with input, some sort of input on not a TV. A TV, even if you got nothing connected to it, you can still, in a way, connect to the air. Right? To, the antenna, right? By the way, can you? I think you can, right? You don't always need cable, right? Anyways, regardless, it's always connected. And that's like a big, big, big thing. And so, anyways, all right, let me read some questions, all right? Because I'm already losing my train of thought here again. Dark Wolf says, do you use a VPN? Short answer, no. No, I don't. you can change the feed of location for YouTube and other things. I can do that without a VPN. Now listen, I do have a VPN, a free VPN. You know, it's an app on my computer. It's a thing on my computer that I downloaded and I use, but I don't use it. I don't use it. There's no real reason for me to use it. For what? Because I live in Mexico, and so I'm connected to the Mexican internet, the Mexican grid. So, for example, when I go on YouTube or I go on the internet, you know, just the default is Mexico. You know, so the default is Mexican Google, Mexican YouTube, Mexican everything. And that's great because when I'm scrolling through YouTube, I get all the recommendations that the algorithm recommends to me from the things that I watch. But then when it recommends certain things that I don't watch, you know, like the news, it's Mexican news. So it's the Mexican mainstream media. And most of the time, I just ignore it because I don't really care about, you know, XYZ person in Tamaulipas, you know, in whatever other part of Mexico that did blah, blah, blah. Okay? And, you know, since I'm on the Mexican internet, I'm not getting anything about the U.S. So no U.S. news. So that's why I don't know what's going on with the election, nor do I care. I don't know about the hurricane because, well, that's U.S. news, not Mexican news. And I could go on and on. So I am disconnected from the USA. The only connection I have to the USA is what I choose to follow, you know, through YouTube or Facebook or whatever. But since I'm not connected to a VPN, it's all, you know, again, coming from Mexico. So it's like basically if I'm looking at CNN, US CNN, it's through the portal of Mexico. So it's like I'm I got to make my way out of here to whatever. Now, yes, I could technically have a VPN, okay? And through that VPN connect to the USA grid, okay? So that way every time I go to Google or YouTube or whatever website, immediately I get all the local stuff here. In fact, let me show you. Let me give you some examples real quick, okay? So as you guys can see here, okay, that's my YouTube, okay? But all the way, where is it? Over here with the account, okay? There's an option here all the way. Yeah, hold on. I got to get my face out of the way. 1 second. So you see all the way down here where it says location. You see? Location set to Mexico. But I can click on that location and you can set it to whatever you want. I don't need a VPN for that. So I can have it set to the USA, or I just have it set to default, which is Mexico. Now, let me show you exactly. So these are my recommendations, you know, some of the things that I'll watch. You know, again, you see Miami Dolphins football. That's American, right? You know, music, as I listen to music. There's the weather guy that I was telling you about. The comedy stuff that I was telling you about that I'll listen. But as I scroll down, okay, and you scroll down, you see like top news. Okay, but what does it say there? You see top news, but what is it? It's all in Spanish. Okay? Spanish. Okay? All right, talking about Airbnb in Mexico. Talking about, some violence in Guanajuato. Talking about some hurricane in Guerrero. They're talking about a volcano in another part of Mexico here. They're talking about the president because she just got inaugurated. Okay? And so on and so forth. Okay? So, this is what I keep it. Okay? And I suggest you guys can do the same thing. You know, you don't have to, there's no reason for you to be connected to the U.S., you know? Because if I need to access, let's say my U.S. bank account, okay, let's say I got to access my U.S. bank account. I don't access it through my computer. So I don't need a VPN. I access it through my American phone. I got another phone. This is a U.S. phone. And on this U.S. phone, I got my U.S. banking apps or whatever it is, you know, and then I just connect through here. My U.S. phone, U.S. number, U.S. whatever. Okay? That's it, you know? So I try to stay as unplugged as possible. You know what I mean? Like it's not for everybody. It's not easy, but But so I know some people that will connect to a VPN and always be on the VPN. So that way when they're scrolling through YouTube, they'll get, top news, but it's all good. In fact, I'll give you here. I'll show you exactly what's going to pop up. Okay. Let's just go to USA. All right. United States. Okay. And the same thing. You see the same exact thing. Okay. All right. So you see the recommendations you get there. Say nothing changed. Nothing changed. Nothing. Okay. All the way until we get to break. Now it's not top news anymore. Now it's breaking news. Okay. Now it's breaking news. And look at that. Look at that. It's. I didn't even know that the vice president debate was a thing. It was. What's going on? So look at that. You see, I had no idea. So it's up to you. It's up to you what you want to do and how you want to, use these tools or have these tools, use you or whatever. But yeah, I keep this on Mexico. Fuck that. I don't care. I really don't. But it's not just this. For example, let's here. Hold on one second. Okay, so we'll go to this website here, groundnews.com or groundnews.news or ground.news, whatever it is. Anyways, this is a website that's a news website, okay? Now, I put it here, U.S. edition, okay? But normally the default is international edition because it recognizes that I am not in the USA. So since I'm not in the USA, I'll get the international edition, okay? And look at the news. You're talking about something in the Congo, something in Guatemala, Google and power plants, scientists, whatever. Okay, but look, as soon as I go to the U.S. version, Biden is, talking about Biden in Israel, Trump, gunman, Google, same Google nuclear thing. Anyways, U.S. and Microsoft seize more than 100 websites, with Russian whatever. Garth Brooks is sued. Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. But anyways, but you get to see the biased. You get to see the whatever. It's like, I'm okay. I'm good. I listen to, international news is good for me. All right. And that's it. So, and this goes for every website and for every thing out there. Okay. So just FYI. All right. You got more control than you think you do. And you don't need a VPN. But of course, a VPN helps because, like, for example, let's say you want to hear news about Argentina, you might connect to the Argentina, whatchamacallit, like VPN, and then go to the Argentina CNN, I don't know, whatever, and go. But you don't really need to do that, okay? So, like, here, I'll give you another example. If you're in Mexico and you go to Amazon, you're going to go to Amazon.mx, Amazon.com.mx. But I can also just go to Amazon.com. I just take the MX out and I go to Amazon.com. Okay? So, just FYI. Hold on a second. All right, sorry. Got a little distracted there with something. But yeah, but long story short, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, this is basically what it boils down to, okay? And so I feel like most people that own a TV these days, most people that not just own a TV, not just own a TV, but have that on all the time. They don't go out of their way to find real news. They don't go out of their way, to do their own research or to what is it, to what's the word I'm looking for? To cater their own viewing programming. So I create my own programming. I create what I'm going to watch. I don't allow them to create my viewing itinerary for me. That's what I meant to say. I get to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it at whatever time I want to watch it, as opposed to, going by what they, recommend to me or whatever. All right. Did I get my projector from Temu? No, I got it from Amazon. You know, I've never bought anything from Temu. Christian is the one that buys from Temu all the time. She's she's a woman. You know, you get to buy, you know, all kinds of things there for like pennies on the dollar, like literally. You know, you could buy things for like 5 cents, 25 cents, you know, whatever. You know, so she goes on there and she goes hog wild and buys all kinds of shit from there. She's bought things for me from there. But most of the things that come from Temu are trash. And that's okay. You don't feel bad when you buy something from Temu and it turns out to be trash because you only spent like 25 cents or $1 or $3 or whatever it is, okay? So I personally just order from Amazon because, you know, I order from Amazon in the USA all the time. And I order from Amazon here all the time. Like I order from Amazon and depending on the item, you know, I'll probably just get it overnight. You know, so I might order something from Amazon right now, and I'll most likely get it tomorrow. But, you know, here in Merida, where I live, you know, we have an Amazon distribution center right on, you know, on the outskirts of town. And there are Amazon distribution centers all over Mexico. And, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they're trying to infiltrate the Mexican and Latin American market as much as the, you know, other companies. And Amazon is competing with Temu. The thing about Amazon is that Amazon still has good products, and they have a return policy. You know, I for example, you know, many times I've had to get like a car part, you know, a piece for my truck, and I order it from Amazon, and it comes from China, and the part is bad, the part is wrong, something's wrong with the part, okay? And so basically I just, you know, I don't have to call anybody. I just go on Amazon and I let Amazon know, hey, it's a wrong part that you sent me, or the part is broken, or whatever it is, and I can return it. Sometimes they even say, don't even return it. It's not worth it to us. All right, we're just gonna give you a refund, and that's it, you know, and you can keep the product, you know, so yeah, Amazon works just as great as it does over there. So I use Amazon because it's more convenient for me, and you know, I'm sometimes I'm looking for specific products like Cuban coffee from Miami. Temu is not going to sell Cuban coffee, but you know who is? You know, some Amazon seller in Miami trying to, you know, sell it to some dumbass like me at 10 times the price. All right, you know, it is what it is. All right, but you know, certain specific things. That's the only reason I really go to Amazon to buy specific things for the most part. But yeah, but you know, Temu is pretty good, I guess. No, but yeah, when I bought the projector, it was many years ago. It was for a business endeavor I was trying to, you know, do. And so I bought a really good projector, and I got it for really, you know, a really good price, because that projector was actually really expensive on Mexican Amazon. But I looked for that same projector in US Amazon, okay? And then, you know, once you added the taxes and the import fees and all that, and they had like a special going on, I mean, I basically got a, you know, like almost like a $450 projector for like $200 or less. So, you know, I bought that. And again, the business endeavor never worked out, which is fine, whatever. You know, I bought it when I bought the computer, and I bought other things out. But, you know, now we use it all the time, and it's like, you know, we got like I told you, a 100-inch TV, you know, for $200, you know? So it's great. It's wonderful. So, but yeah, projectors are, and Christian uses the projector too, because Christian teaches at the school, at the art school. So she'll take the projector with her from time to time, and she'll use it, you know, to for the kids and to help whatever. Because like, anyways, but yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's many options. And so there's Amazon, there's Mercado Libre, there's eBay, there's Temu. There's so many options out here to buy all kinds of things. So, all right, let's put on Alex Jones for a second so I can take a breath, read some comments, and collect my thoughts so we can start, so I can, you know, go on another rant on whatever. Shout out to everyone out there in the audience. Hope you guys are enjoying today's show.
To be in nature and be natural, and this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order.
That's right.
And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
That's right.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive.
That's right, Alex. Tell him. Tell him. TV is bad.
They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Not gonna lie, man. 2016 and during that time, that was some good times. That was fun times. Hilarious times. All right, real quick. Okay, so I see a question here. So I don't want to, wait. Anyways, okay. Adrian, Alex Jones has his own show and his own TV. By the way, I heard that they're gonna take InfoWars away from him. That's gonna be pretty interesting to see. What he does after that. And obviously, if I was him, I would just create another one, a new, InfoWars 2 or something, Anyways, all right, whatever. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Adrian says, social media is a new TV. TikTok is brain rot. Listen, I agree with you, So, the content that you are going to be consuming on, again, on YouTube, on your phone, on whatever platform, website, whatever you name, it can be brain rot as well. You know what I mean? It can, again, it's the thing about it is that now you are the curator. Now you are the one that's curating the content. Okay? And so therefore, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but the reality is that the algorithm knows you best. And you can also train the algorithm. So if you are on TikTok, on Instagram, on whatever it is, Facebook is the one that's like the shadiest of them all. I'm not a fan. Okay, but whatever. The other ones, okay? Even YouTube, you name it, okay? You basically feed the algorithm. So if you are constantly watching videos of women jumping on trampolines, well, then that's what you're going to get recommended. If you're watching videos on documentaries on dinosaurs, well, you're going to get a bunch of videos on dinosaurs. If you're watching a lot of videos on how to cook peach cobbler, well, you're going to get a lot of videos on cooking and a bunch of peach cobbler recipes and peach pie and other peach-related dishes. It's just the way it works. And so the more you feed it peaches, the more it's going to give you peach-related content. The more you tell the algorithm that you like big-breasted women jumping on trampolines or, guys wearing tights jumping on trampoline and having all that fly about, well, that's what it's going to recommend, to you. If you watch Alex Jones, it's going to recommend Alex Jones. If you watch Trump, it's going to recommend you Kamala. What? Anyways, but you know what I mean. The point is that you have a lot more, again, like I was saying earlier, you have a lot more control over what you're watching. Okay? So, yes, so it's just like eating food. You got control over that. So, yes, there is junk food everywhere. Okay, it's more easily accessible junk food. Okay, junk trash. Junk trashy videos on the platforms is a lot easier to find and consume. Okay, sometimes we just want to watch someone jumping on a trampoline. Sometimes we don't. But the point is that you got control over that. Okay, so you only got to blame yourself and more than anything else. So it's just like anything else. You can eat one Twinkie, but if you're eating one Twinkie every hour, on the hour, days on end, listen, you only got yourself to blame for your Twinkie problem and your weight problem. And that's as simple. That's it. That's what it is. And so it's the same thing. So if all you're consuming, okay, is trash on social media, on YouTube, on whatever, well, you're the one that's curating that. So I agree with you, Adrian. You're 100% correct. But the one thing that today's society, kind of tells us is that you know, we don't have to be responsible. You know, responsibility, okay, is not, you know, our duty. Okay, so we shouldn't be held responsible for our own actions. You know, fat is beautiful or whatever it is, you know, and so it's the same old shit. And so basically, you know, they're gonna, you know, it's up to you whether you're gonna be eating junk food or not, whether you're gonna be eating organic food or not, whether you're gonna work out or not, whether you're gonna take care of your body, your mind, your soul or not. It's the same thing. And so now these days, again, we got more control over what we consume through these things. You know, the TV, the monitor, the phone, the computer, the whatever it is, we curate our own thing. And we can simply turn it off and not consume anything. Or we can consume, I consume a lot of, I watch history channels, a lot of history buffs. I love documentaries. I love certain things. So that's mainly what I'll consume. Every once in a while, I'll get a chick jumping on a trampoline. And then, you know, Christian will throw a sandal at me. But it is what it is. It's not constantly, you know, chicks jumping on trampolines. Okay? It is what it is. So the algorithm will never send you a video of Alex Jones. Yeah, you're right. You're right there, Jess. Shout out to Jess out there. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, you know, that's the thing. And so, like, to me, it's like we have more control over this. We have more control over our own bodies than we ever have. And so this is why this is a huge paradigm shift. You know, we're breaking out of that matrix, and because now we really do have choice. And this is why they try to convince you, you know, to, you know, eat the Twinkie, drink the Coca-Cola. They tell you it's okay to be fat, overweight, dumb. You know, you don't have to think for yourself. We will provide all that for you, and all this other stuff because, well, it's to their benefit. You know, before they used to force feed you these things. Now they know that they can't just force feed it to you anymore. So, well, now they try to convince you. You know, and it's not that hard to convince you. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, most people would rather have a bag of M&Ms as opposed to eating, you know, a bag of raw kale. All right. You know, it is what it is. And then, you know, they try to convince you, you know, like, oh, look, if you want to be a vegan, you know, for the earth, you know, for the animals, you can, but we know that you don't want to eat vegetables. So we're going to give you these processed, chemically filled chicken nuggets that don't even resemble a chicken nor a nugget, you know, but, you know, we're going to give that to you. And now you can feel good about yourself. And at the same time, you will still be controlled. Okay. And so on and so forth. So Viviendo says, lots of choices today. But back when I was a kid, only 2 or 3 channels. We watch whatever was on or go outside and play. So that's great, Viviendo, because that's the thing. Same thing too. When I was growing up too. I mean, I'm 43, but I don't think I'm that old. But yeah, I mean, I grew up in that age too. I mean, I remember when cable came about, when HBO was a thing, you know, when it started coming out. But yeah, I remember when I was growing up, it was the same thing. We had a few more channels. You had 2 channels, 3 channels. I had like 10 channels maybe, you know. But still, in fact, my favorite channel was PBS and public access, you know, the regular public access and PBS, which is also public access. But those are my favorite channels, you know. You know, the local public access and then the regular PBS, because they used to do, you know, they used to have a lot of shows on there, like, I heard something. Anyways, I used to watch shows on there, like the cooking shows. You remember the Galloping Gourmet or Julia Child or Yang Can Cook? Remember Yang Can Cook? If Yang can cook, so can you. You know, Asian guy. Anyways, you know, I'll watch all that. You know, watch Bob Ross painting, watch documentaries, you know, watch all kinds of crap, you know what I mean? All kinds of cool stuff on there. In fact, you know, that's where Alex Jones got his start, right? It was on public access or some shit like that. So, yeah. Is the thing frozen in the back? Hold on a second. No, there we go. Okay, sorry. That's anyways. All right. So, what was I saying with all that? But yeah. Anyway, so even though we have more choice these days, it's also an illusion. Just because you. Okay, so for example, yeah, you make a great point. Same point I was making in the sense of like, yeah, we have a gazillion choices. To consume, what to consume, feed the algorithm, yada yada yada. Everything I was just saying. But it's all an illusion as well, because when it comes to like the real important things, okay, like for example, I don't know, who's going to run the country, like the presidential election, they don't even give you a choice. They basically tell you, look, this is who's going to run. And, you can vote, but, we already picked them ahead of time anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter, So, for the important things, there's no choice. This is the way it is, eat it or else. Suck it or else. That's it. But everything else, there's like 17 different versions of Lucky Charms, let alone, 1,700 versions of cereal. And that goes with everything else, So yeah, there's like 1 billion channels on YouTube, like how many hundreds of platforms, to watch content on. How many choices you got, we got literally infinite amount of choices. All right. But yet, if you're not careful and you don't know what you're doing, or you're not being mindful about what you're doing, okay, let's reiterate there. If people are not mindful about what they're consuming, I mean, you're basically in the same, you're in that same memory hole. No, sorry, you're in that same propaganda illusion state that you would have been just by watching regular TV, because it's the same thing. It's like, again, like the whole veganism thing or anything, for example, I want to go carnivore diet, but instead of going out of my way to get really good beef or really good meat, okay, that's going to be good for me and my health, I get, chicken nuggets, okay, or I'm getting, what does it call it? Like, meat that's processed in one of those factory farms or whatever it is. Okay. Same thing with the veganism. I want to go vegan, but I don't want to eat a carrot or I don't want to eat an apple. But I'll definitely have a McDonald's apple pie. I'll definitely have some McDonald's French fries. Those are definitely vegan, right? Right. So it's all that shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's like everything else, Again, I can watch documentaries all day, or I can watch Beavis and Butthead all day, or I can watch, America's Next Top Model all day, or whatever the fuck, We have more choice than we would like to admit. But even in between all that, we got to be careful what we consume. Even when I'm consuming a documentary, I don't just consume that. Since we have more choice now, I'll consume a documentary, and if I fear or if I think that maybe that documentary is a little left-leaning, okay, great. I'm going to now watch a documentary on the same subject that's right-leaning, okay? Why? So that I can see the bias on the left-leaning documentary, I can see the bias on the right-leaning documentary, and I might even watch another third documentary on the same subject that's right in the middle, and they have their own bias too, believe it or not. And then you get to make your own fucking mind and choice and thoughts about the thing. But most people, they're not going to do that. And if they're going to watch a documentary, they're going to watch that documentary one fucking time, and they're going to watch it by the bias that is whatever. So if it's a left-leaning person, they're going to watch the documentary from the left-leaning, producer of the documentary, and they're not even going to look at the right-leaning whatever. They don't even want, other thoughts in their brain. They don't want conflicting things in their brain, so that now all of a sudden they have to think, okay? And they have to, make a choice. People these days, they want the choice to be made for them, that's a main problem too with like society and everything going on these days. It's like, we're living in zombie world. We are in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. A lot of people just don't understand that. You know, when you hear zombie apocalypse, you're automatically thinking, like Shaun of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead or whatever. Zombies, like real zombies, like you see in the fucking movies, and then fucking walking around and then the invasion, the movie, Zombie Land, whatever. But that's not what it is. We're living in the fucking zombie invasion right now, and that's not how it's playing out. I mean, depending on the city, I get it. If you go to Kensington, fucking Philadelphia, if you go to, San Francisco, you go to, certain parts of the country, yeah, you're going to see real zombies. You're going to see people going, all drugged up and walking around. But, when I'm talking about zombies, I'm really talking about, just the whole thing in general, just how mindless people are. And you see that everywhere. All the time. It is constant. It does not stop. All these brainless, mindless idiots that refuse to think for themselves. And their thoughts are put there by something or somebody else. And they have curated that. That's what they want. Okay? Some people willingly, some people not willingly, whatever, regardless. But that's kind of like, where we're at right now with all that shit. And so that's why a lot of people, we some of us start to lose faith in humanity, start to lose faith in certain things, the world and the direction things are heading, because we see all these fucking zombies everywhere. Okay? But I'm here to tell you that it's not like that at all. There's a lot of zombies out there, but there's a lot of people like you and me out there. In fact, there's probably more people like you and me out there. But people like you and me out there, not all of us have a voice or care to share or express that voice. Okay? For fear, for whatever reason. Okay? And then the idiots, are the ones that tend to, voice their thoughts and their opinions even more. Look, this is why I play an idiot on TV. Okay, this is why I dumb myself down on purpose. Okay, this is why I got my fucking horse, a fake plastic horse, and I talk to that thing and I pretend I'm talking to that thing and I make it a thing. Okay, because I'm not trying to take myself too seriously, because that's another thing. People out there taking themselves too seriously. Like all of a sudden, like some dumbass like me, and I think that my voice is the voice of reason. I'm here to change people. I'm here to, whatever. It's like, no, none of that shit. You know what I mean? Anyways, man, I could go on rants, but it's already getting late. I just saw the time. I got things to do. I was running late earlier. I was running late on my other channel. I was running late here and going over time here. Regardless, I know I went all over the place today, but hey, this is what you guys enjoy about the show. This is what you guys enjoy about what I do here, and I love, to be able to share with you guys and talk to you guys about all this stuff and just have fun and enjoy life and whatever, But anyways, more stuff for us to talk about in future episodes for sure. What's going on here? Yeah. Let me just turn it off. All right. Anyways, okay. So I think that's it, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I hope you had some fun today on the other channel, on this channel. Hope you guys are enjoying, your week. Hope you guys are having a wonderful year. I cannot believe we are in October already. Holy crap. Where did the year go? Where did everything go? Man, again, I want to give a big shout out to all of you guys out there. Every single one of you guys that has, again, subscribe to this channel. Join me on this adventure. Sorry, I keep hearing noise. I'm sorry. I got things to do. I apologize. I'm a little paranoid. I was like, fuck, I don't want the... Okay. Anyways, the delivery. Anyways, all right, guys. So with all that being said, guys, I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys to death and beyond. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope you enjoyed the show. And you already know what to do. If you enjoy... Before I say that, I want to give a big shout out to all my subscribers out there. Every single one of you guys out there that subscribed to me, whether it was months ago, whether it was today, whether it's in the future. Thank you so much. Again, if you like this kind of content, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. Even if you hate it, share it with an enemy, whatever. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys. I really love you guys. And it's time for me to wrap this up because I got to go. So with all that being said, you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. I cannot believe I had so much energy today where I was just... In fact, I've been doing something a little different this week, which has been giving me a lot more energy. I'm going to keep doing it through next week. And if it's still working, I'll share with you guys my secret next week. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week, and we'll go into that. Man, nature is awesome. I'll leave it at that. Okay, all right. So with all that being said, you already know the deal. If you like this, you already said that. Okay, love you guys. Peace out. Time to roll out the outro song and get the hell out of here. Thanks again for watching. See you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. How's it going? Welcome back to another live stream. Back to another live stream. Back
100 times?
to another live stream. Back,
200
back,
times?
back, back,
500 times?
Probably.
Who is Jose Arteaga?
Jose Arteaga is a YouTube content creator with several channels focusing on different themes.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Thing sucks.
His main channels include travel vlogs and lifestyle content. On his travel channel, Jose Arteaga Travels.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Additionally, he runs a cooking channel and engages in other personal projects that highlight his diverse interests and expertise. Projects and expertise. Projects and expertise. Projects, project, projects, project, projects, project, projects, project, projects, project, projects, project, 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 project.